Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with Fame on Algorand with their founder and CEO, Bai Lao. How you doing today,
Thank
Bai
you
Lao?
very much. I'm doing great. Great to be here.
Very happy to have you. It's taken some time for us to get you on this show, but I'm happy that we are here today. I'd love to start out with, can you tell us about your background and how it led you to start this project, Fame?
I was actually a professor of philosophy, so I used to teach philosophy for 14 years in the French government, for the French government.
Nice.
And I always was interested in inequality, like the root cause of inequality. And doing research, obviously, over the years, you found out that you stumbled on the history of money. And I started to really get interested in that. And that's how I discovered crypto, like a Bitcoin, blockchain, and how the Bitcoin standard, the book, how it can give you some ideas. And I started to become an investor in XRP, VeChain, HBAR. And then I discovered Algorand, and I thought, yeah, that's a technology that can really change things, and we can build on top of it and offer a kind of solution that can make a difference in the world. So my primary focus was about creating an ethical token, which is Fame. It was a token that was just airdropped to the Algorand community. Everyone got, at the time, there were around 700 members of the community on Twitter, and I airdrop 10 Fame each. And then I wanted to give it like a real utility. And that's what I have been focused on since 2021. So the token is all distributed,
Nice.
but now we're building utility for the token.
Building, gotta love it. What is the main problem AlgoFame is trying to solve on Algorand
Yeah,
and beyond?
Fame is about three things. First of all, when I launched the Fame token, I was contacted by farmers from Nigeria, and that's how the whole project started to be built. It's about food transparency. We want the farmers to be known. We want them to be famous, to be recognized, to be appreciated, and to be paid. So the food transparency aspect is the number one. The second one is what farmers do really need around the world. They need an easier access to financial inclusion. That's the second problem of fame. The third problem is governance. Like, how can we have a real decentralized, localized as well governance? Like, we want treasuries to be managed by farmers for farmers and not to have anyone elsewhere taking decision for them.
Nice. That's quite exciting, and it's especially it seems as if you're focusing on a very unique sector in the market. These very localized, rural, very rural farmers who don't necessarily have that financial inclusion in the typical financial world and sector of the world that we know best in first world countries. It seems as if you're focusing more on the third world countries, the ones who aren't included, and the ones who need that financial inclusion and value brought back to them and their farms so they can operate sustainably and effectively. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
right?
totally right. My first approach was let's go to the country that needed the most, like Nigeria and India. So that's where we have the most
Sure.
users. But in reality, the more research I do, the more I realize that the problem is it's a global problem. Like farmers in the US are the biggest
Definitely.
corporation committing suicide. Same in France. Why? Because they are so in debt, because the supermarkets ask them to basically provide a product and paying them 6 months later. It's all a financial problem, and they are so pressured in terms of debt that they end up committing suicide. So at the beginning, I thought I had this picture in my mind of for developing countries, but people are suffering, have the same suffering everywhere. It's on a different scale,
Yeah.
but still, if you're a farmer, you have two times more chance to commit suicide than any other worker. So the idea is not only to focus on developing countries, as we used to call them, but also on supposedly rich countries, developed countries. But is a country really developed when its farmer commits suicide? My answer is no. This is not development. This is not real development. This is just facade. You can have a huge investment companies having amazing market cap in Nasdaq. It doesn't mean your country is developed. In my opinion, They're not. And that's why even here in France, now we have this great movement. You can check it on the news. And I totally support them. I'm with them. And actually, I meet them yesterday and today. I will do it again. And I think people are starting to realize that when you eat, even if you're middle of New York or Paris, this food comes from the rural area. That's come from a field, and we
Yep,
need to be really conscious about that. And people are starting to get to be aware
definitely.
of where the food comes from. Who is the farmer behind my food? I'm eating 3 times a day. I never think of them. That's what we're trying to change.
Yeah, it's definitely a great point. And if we didn't have farmers, the world definitely wouldn't be going around as smoothly as it is today. And it's unfortunate that you bring up that statistic about farmers are one of the most likely individuals to commit suicide based off of their sort of sector of business and job that they are required to do to live and survive within this world and to provide towards their family. It's super unfortunate to hear that. I'd love if we could transition this though, and could you walk us through the development process of Fame Token and its role within the ecosystem?
So the fame token at the beginning was just a reward token for the community to reward each other before there were any decks on Algorand. That's how it originated. But then now, the fame token is still a reward token, but focused on farmers. So actually, we are finishing up the update of the app. So there is the fame app, which is the most important aspect, where we want to build a
Yes.
social marketplace for farmers to reconnect with consumers. So now in the app, we are, I think, the first app to introduce rewards per. So every time you like a post of a farmer, let's say I am a farmer in Kenya, I'm posting my eggs, I'm selling my eggs locally to my village. If you like her post, you send her 1 cent of a fame. And to
Nice.
incentivize farmers to teach them as well how to promote their products, how to take better picture, how to talk about it better. So they improve the quality of their posts. So it makes the app more fun to follow and to engage in. And also it gives them money. After a certain amount, they can withdraw the fame. They can withdraw at any amount actually. They can extract their fame, change it to USDC, USDT, and buy something with it and really invest in the farm. That's the first small feature that we have. But basically, we have also a job marketplace where they can find jobs. They can, if they need a worker, they can post an ad. It's all for free, obviously. So that's the first aspect is the reward token.
Nice.
The second is the governance. It's a governance token for our DAO. So we have the Fame DAO that is live for many months now. So any fame holder can stake his fame within the DAO, and that gives you a voting power. So the more you vote, the more you gain more voting power. Like you gain 10% every time you vote, up to 50%. And the more, the longer you stay, you earn voting power. If you stay 1 month, every month you earn 10% voting power. So the people who are really committed to manage the treasury, they earn more power. The people who are more engaged, they earn more voting power to really reward the real
Makes sense.
participants. And the treasury is actually the remaining fame that stayed after I gave up I airdropped the 80% of the token. So 80% was airdrop, 20% in the treasury, and now the treasury is managed by the people who got the airdrop or the people who receive reward from the Fame app.
It's a very interactive and engaging process that you provide to anybody who utilizes the app. I think it's a very smart approach to be able to help bring some small amounts of money back into these farmers' pockets just by simple engagements. And I think it helps them understand the community aspect, even outside of their native community that they've built and established in the real world, and now more focus on a community they can establish really worldwide through the internet. And it helps them grow their audience, grow their marketing, and at the end of the day, grow
Yeah,
their business to the point where they're not just selling to people who are local to them. They can sell across the world if they can find the resources to do so. And since they're being able to approach those new markets, can you share some real world examples of how the project has positively impacted local communities and farmers by
Yeah,
chance?
we have. It's easy now because you just need to jump in the Fame app. So the first screen of the app
True.
is the global map. So you have the whole world represented, and we have around 2,700 users, and you can see them on the
Nice.
map. For instance, you can go to Kenya and follow one of the farmer and see what she posts and what she can have in terms of engagement. But unfortunately, we don't have the. We really focus on privacy as well, so we don't have access to the messages. And because the wallet is decentralized, when someone buys something with crypto directly to the farmer, we can't really know because people can export their wallet and they control their keys. So it's fully private. But we have, yeah, beautiful stories. We talk to farmers every week and we work with them and we ask them what they need in the app and what are the features that they really want. And it's slow to pick up, to be honest, because farmers in rural areas, like it's very difficult to get them uh, used to this crypto environment and what is crypto. Everybody's very cautious about it, especially in Nigeria, where so many scams happen around crypto. So
Yeah.
you don't gain their trust when you talk about crypto at the beginning, but then slowly they see the rewards coming and they feel like it's just like beneficial for them to just promote their product. It's free, it's open to everyone, and then they slowly gain the trust. But that's a very slow process. Now we are focused on a B2B aspect where we're talking to cooperatives to organize big deals with Europe, with Germany and France. So we try to import products from
Nice.
Africa mainly and from India. And that's some kind of work that can really make a difference because one of the biggest inequality is on access to bigger markets because you are not incentivized to produce if you have no clients. So we try to look for clients here in Europe to be able to buy organic. We focus on organic product to buy organic product from countries in Africa, mainly Cameroon, Centrafrique, and Nigeria is difficult to be honest, but we're trying to talk with a few cooperatives here.
Nice. That's quite an accomplishment, I gotta say, especially that you're branching more outward and focusing now on more corporations. What are some of those things that the farmers are asking for regarding the Fame app? Is there specific applications or specific, I guess it'd be like tools that they're looking for to benefit them more? Or what are some of those things that the farmers would recommend to
So
have?
yeah, one of the most important thing for farmers, especially in rural areas, is access to cash, obviously, access to credit. This is the biggest thing because most of them, especially in rural Nigeria, they don't have banks. They don't have access to banks. So
Yeah.
for them, to have access to credit is like something impossible because to open a bank account as a business in Nigeria is like awful. And many countries have this problem. Too much friction to create an account. On blockchain, we create the Fame wallet automatically when you sign in, when you sign up with Google. So in one button, you have your new wallet. That's it. And when with this wallet, we are building those borrowing and lending protocols. We are starting with the lending, so that's even an idea that not many people are aware of. You can earn passive income with your saving. That's something that not many people understand. So when they see that they can just save their money and earn a passive income on the background and they see the cents coming back in, that's a new concept altogether. And when they put this
It's a great
when
point.
they have this savings account we're running, that creates a collateral where they can borrow against. And that's how you unlock new possibilities because you cannot go to the bank and you don't even have any credit score or anything. You are nobody. Sometimes you don't even have an idea. So the fact that they can automatically borrow against themselves because they put the collateral, do their business, pay back, and still earn the rewards from the lending, that's something that we need to educate. We are building it slowly. We want to start small with many farmers, but when they get it, it's like a light bulb. Wow, I'm completely out of the banking system. I don't need no government, nothing. I just need to get paid in crypto. So now they're asking to get paid in crypto, in Algo, in Fame, because you can still get paid in Fame, in USDC,
Yep.
USDT, and now we are introducing the euro. So that's the next step, and I'm very excited because the European market can really
Nice.
pick it up. So
It's an accomplishment, that's for sure, once you implement that. And it also opens up the farmers to cryptocurrency itself as well and the decentralized platforms that cryptocurrency has to offer for, like you already mentioned, being open to loans, staking as a service. There's so many different options. And especially with Algorand being one of the most sustainable, efficient chains out there to date, these farmers are transacting and their transaction
yeah,
costs are pennies. If they were to ever transact on Ethereum, they wouldn't know how to respond. It's like they're getting the best life out here utilizing Fame and Algorand because of how minuscule these transaction fees may be. And it only helps them and their margins over time when they're trying to withdraw back to their centralized wallets or whatever it may be so they can actually utilize the funds. And it's so much more stress free, I guess one would put it.
exactly.
My next question to you would be, Bilal, how do you plan to engage and grow your community, and what role do they play in the project's success? I'm assuming the farmers play a vital role within the success of Fame. But outside of just the farmers, how do the community play a role? Or does the community
But
play a
that's a good question because you know what we call a community in crypto is really narrow because we only think about the people on Twitter.
role? Very.
And in reality, the world is much bigger than Twitter. And what I'm trying to do is to
Yep.
reach out to the people outside of Twitter, outside of this crypto sphere, because every community, like blockchain community, is a kind of a bubble in itself. Even if there are some bridges sometimes from one blockchain to another, it's still a bubble and it's very small. Like the whole world is much bigger. What I mean by community, I need one farmer that can be an ambassador for a local community. I need one. For instance, there is a Judith in Kenya. She is in the Kisii region. I've been there. I met her to make sure like she's serious. She really is a farmer. She really does the work and she sells and she has clients and she has consumers around her. And
Nice.
and when you find someone you can trust, you build around this farmer and you reward her to bring new consumers into the app, to bring other farmers, and to build from the ground up at the local level a local community where she will be the ambassador. So yes, as you said, the farmers are the central point. That's where the community starts to grow because farmers provide food and they also provide jobs. And that grows the community
Yep.
because to be employed by such a farmer, it would be better for this farmer to buy the employee with crypto, with USDC or USDT or Algo or Fame. And that's how I think
Yeah.
it's the best way to grow organically in many local communities around the world.
Nice. That's a very smart approach. You're diving outside of the market and you're focusing on onboarding more people rather than focusing on
Yeah.
who's already here. It's definitely smart and it definitely provides a lot of growth as long as you're able to captivate their interest. How do you ensure the security and transparency of the platform itself, and what measures do you have in place to protect user data and assets? Because user security in this market is one of the most vital aspects of any platform. You have to have the security for you to survive, more or
Yeah,
less.
it's a huge deal. We have the security and we have the friction. Passphrases have posed many friction points for many users. The biggest friction point for crypto adoption is the passphrase. So the way we solve it is first you when you create your Fame account on the app, you have a custodian wallet first. So we hold and try to secure as much as we can the funds, but we encourage the user to export their wallet. So we build in a function which called export wallet. You click on export wallet, we explain every step. So we hope by then, before doing that, we hope the user really reads the whole explanation, understand what he's doing, and got used to the
Yep.
payment, to the crypto payment, he understand. Then when he exports his wallet, we create for him a new wallet that we completely ignore, and he has his own passphrase, and he has to relog with his own passphrase to rebuild his wallet. And this wallet we created for him, and we transfer the fund from the custodian wallet to the non-custodial wallet to make sure he has a perfectly uncompromised wallet. And now, what we hope is that slowly the user gets to know the ecosystem. He can download another wallet if he wants. He can export his fund. He can change his wallet and create a new wallet and import a new passphrase and feel completely free about this. So it's completely decentralized when it's exported. But first, we need to give that transition where we don't want to hit the user directly with the passphrase problem and tries to survive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A common
Yeah.
error in most cases when people are brand new to the
Exactly.
space, forgetting their pass keys, their passphrases, and just losing any sort of access to a wallet they may store a lot
And
of.
we
It's
had that
unfortunate.
issue with many farmers losing their passphrases with our previous build. And now we prefer to give the choice. If they want to stay in a custodian wallet, they can. When they understand it, and we encourage them to export it, they can export at any time, and they have full control of their Fame wallet.
Nice. It's nice that you
Yeah.
give both options. I'd like to close things off by Lau with what are your long term goals and visions for the project, and what are some of the steps you are taking to achieve them? I'm assuming one of those goals is more mass adoption to
Yeah,
farmers.
definitely. I think my long-term goal is to change the way we eat. Like we shouldn't continue to eat food that we completely ignore, like we are completely ignorant about our food. My long-term goal is to educate the people about where the food comes from, how it was produced, what is it to produce rice or potatoes or whatever the product is, and who is the
Yeah.
person. Like we want farmers to be known by their name. We want to follow them on Fame. We want the profile to be successful. We want the profile of the farmers to be famous, and we want farmers to be recognized for their work, which is vital. Like no human would survive without farmers. Even if we go to Mars, the first thing we need is farmers. It's not like nothing else, no other job. So the idea is to give back this dignity and value to the farmers and to increase also the quality of the food we eat. Like now, the French farmers today are fighting for food quality, not only for their pay, but also for food quality because France has the highest quality standards in terms of food. And it's unfair for them to see the food coming from any other country without any standard at all and
Yeah.
at a much lower price, but it's not fair. So food quality and farmers first, so everyone to have kids dreaming about becoming a farmer. That's my goal.
It's a great goal. And I'm a big believer that people are very delusional to what
Yeah.
they intake on their daily choices when it comes to food, especially in the Western hemisphere of the world, when there's a surplus of different options regarding fast food that is just so accessible and so cheap to the mass, where it's I could buy this $1 hamburger that would fill me up more than a $1 apple. The hamburger's probably not real in any way, shape, or form, and the apple's actually going to provide nutritious value to you and come from a farmer that actually cares about providing the apple. And it's a very delusional sight to see. And it's unfortunate because we see all of these diseases and whatnot come and stem from these foods, and it just gets pushed under the rug. And it's so unfortunate. But at the end of the day, all we can try to do to better that is provide clarity, like you already mentioned, and hope that we get more people interested in the farming industry and growing farming as a whole independently rather than by corporations.
I love what you said. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts,
No, I
Bilo?
really love what you just said. I think we should all educate our kids that way. Like, we need to have
Yeah.
clean food for our children. We cannot continue to poison the whole planet. It's not sustainable. It's just obviously not
Yeah.
sustainable. It's unbelievable that we still
Yeah.
believe we can eat like anonymous food, and it's unbelievable that we still believe like we can trust any kind of labels, or they can put any kind of label. The label industry is another thing we would need to discuss about for hours, but
Yeah, the FDA is a whole different topic we could go on for hours about. But one thing I wanna mention, though, I already mentioned McDonald's. It's funny because in the United States where I live, pretty much any McDonald's, it says served over, I think it's 1 billion hamburgers in their lifetime. And it's like if there was to be like legitimate over served over 1 billion hamburgers, they would not be. I wonder how many cows that would legitimately be. How many real life eating grass cows would actually come from a billion hamburgers? It can't be cows. It's just cow. I feel like cows would go extinct from something of that number. It's just it doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't make
And the
sense
food
to me.
waste.
And that's one of those things where it's like,
And the
what was
food
that?
waste. Like when I was in high school,
Yeah, the food waste as well is a big
yeah,
factor.
because on
Yeah,
these billion burgers that they produce, maybe people had 1 billion, they bought 1 billion burger. But myself, when I was a
yeah,
student in 1997, actually I worked at McDonald's and I know how it is. And you have half
yeah.
of the burgers that goes to trash. So if you produce 1 billion burger, half of them go to trash. So how much of food waste and
True.
climate change are you creating with this stupid meat that you are eating and all the waste that you're creating to sell one burger, you throw one to the garbage. And that's food, that's energy that was stored by this cow. And it is so stupid when you think about it. Just globally, it's not sustainable.
Let's hope it's actually cows that they're serving at the end of the day.
Yeah, many scandals about
Never
that.
know.
We had the horse in Europe. In France,
Yeah,
they were selling horse, pretending it's cow for years. And the scandal broke out, and
terrible.
now they just created a new standard, but you cannot prove. You need to have the farmer because what happened is that you can obfuscate the meat with middlemen. That's what happened in the food industry. And I'm discovering what's going on, and it's shocking. It's just shocking what's going on.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that at the end of the day, all we can try to do is do better. Lyle, any closing thoughts? I appreciate you taking the time once again, and it's been a pleasure to be able to talk all about fame. Why
Thank you
not?
so much. Like my closing thought is just join us, join the Fame app, follow the farmers you find around the world. You can just find them through the map. Follow your local farmers in the US, support them, tell them about Fame, tell them how you want to support them with rewards that we offer them, and to be independent from supermarkets, banks, and governments. That's my wish.
Amazing. Bilal, thank you once again for taking the time. And if you enjoyed today's content, all of Bilal's links will be down below for fame. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Thank you.
Peace.
Welcome to Gilmore Estates, where we pave your way to real estate success. Our state-of-the-art platform is tailored to empower people from diverse backgrounds, helping them thrive in the world of real estate investment. Through the magic of Hedera NFTs, educational resources, and regular evaluations, you'll not only learn but also earn valuable HTS token, G-Coin rewards along the way. Our innovative tokenomics model closely replicates real estate cash flow dynamics, meaning the more G-Coin you possess, the larger your monthly cash flow. And the cherry on top, our Launchpad grants you the opportunity to own fractions of assets from well-established real estate holding companies. Unleash your potential and start your journey to financial success with Gilmore Estates today.